While the Senate returns to Washington today, reacting to the death of George Floyd, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says lawmakers must work to end racism, racial disparities, and injustice in America. Correspondent Erik Rosales reports now from Capitol Hill. Eric?
Well, Tracy, here on Capitol Hill, senators are returning to heightened security. Not only is there a barricade around the Capitol, but there's also an increased police presence both inside and outside of the Capitol. Meanwhile, lawmakers are offering solutions for ways to heal this broken country. Demonstrators gathered yesterday outside the U.S. Capitol protesting the murder of George Floyd, and lawmakers of both parties were swift to react, both to Floyd's death.
The murder of George Floyd is both a tragedy and a travesty.
And to what the violent protests say about our country.
We are not manifesting the conviction as a society to heal ourselves. And right now you're seeing the consequences of that.
Lawmakers pointed to the differences between the protesters and violent activists.
While these protesters that are out there to talk about these issues and to point to Mr. Floyd's murder, these protesters have been largely peaceful. They are not the ones looting and burning and hurting people.
Administration officials say Antifa is to blame for the violent protests. Short for anti-fascists, Antifa is a term for far left-leaning militant groups. U.S. Attorney General William Barr warned, quote, "The violence instigated and carried out by Antifa and other similar groups in connection with the rioting is domestic terrorism and will be treated accordingly." Democratic Senator Cory Booker says his team is currently drafting legislation to change the law that governs police misconduct and to create a national registry for police misconduct.
We are all weaker because we have allowed so much injustice to last so long. And so now it's a time to take this energy and this anger and this focus and keep it until we actually change laws and systems of accountability that can raise standards in our country.
The chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Lindsey Graham, is calling the death of George Floyd, that is, horrific. He's also calling for a hearing to look into police brutality, and he is also hoping for calming nights. Tracy?
Correspondent Erik Rosales reporting from Capitol Hill for us tonight. Thank you, Eric.